is Kamari Pratt. I'm from West Palm Beach, Florida. I major in psychology and I minor in criminal justice. Those who are so understanding seek to be understood. And that's a quote by me. Now today we're going to talk about the victim mindset. Now why is it so hard to break out this mindset? Now you got to think about it. Those who have a certain victim mindset receive a lot of sympathy from many. You know, they receive, oh, he went through this or she went through this, so this is why she acting a certain way, instead of really owning up to those person's decisions. So they kind of get a bypass with making mistakes. Say, for instance, someone go murder someone. The first thing they think about, if that person been through something, oh, their childhood, oh, their mother just died, or oh, their sister just died, they just got broken up with. But you got to think about other people experience other things too. Everybody's eventually going to go through something. So it doesn't make it acceptable to act out when they're suffering also. But because they're so-called victimized, or they want to consider themselves a victim, should they get a bypass? Should they not go to jail? Should they not suffer the same crime as others? So we have to think about that. And that's overall, I think, breaking out of this mindset, you have to take accountability. I think that's the major factor in all of this, accountability. So once you take accountability, then it alleviates everything. Of course you made the mistake, but you can grow from it. You can learn from it. Now, I'm going to read from here. From the time we step foot into school until the time we graduate, we're being programmed to believe that we're slaves in this come of the earth. The black community feels as if they should pay us back for what we allowed to happen to ourselves. To this day, some may believe that we are owed something in return, instead of going out and getting it ourselves, breaking the barriers they try to place on us. Now also to add to this, many of the times people go through obstacles and they want to make excuses and instead of trying to overcome those obstacles, instead of trying to reach over. You know, we got to realize everyone experiences things. And the whole point and the whole lesson throughout all of it is perseverance. To persevere through everything you go through. You know, regardless of what you face, you have to overcome it, because nobody's going to give you a handout. Nobody's going to give you a silver spoon. Many have it easier and many have it harder. But overall, you have to learn, and you have to learn to persevere. And that's the main point I'm trying to point out in this section. Agree or disagree? In my opinion, I do agree. The victim mindset has been an issue in the society for a while now. Individuals have been playing the victim card so long. Often when things go wrong or something happens, individuals blame others for their problem and don't own up to whatever it is that they did. Which that piggybacks on accountability. You know, many people don't take accountability for nothing because sometimes they never had to, or they always had an escape route. And I believe the main point most people should learn is make people take accountability for their actions. They'll learn something. They'll learn to be more responsible. Because if they keep getting a bailout, or if they have somebody to, help them out every time they experience something, then why not keep committing a crime? And why not keep failing? And why not keep making mistakes and not wanting to overcome it? You have somebody having your back all the time. Of course, anyone would want to fail, failure is okay when you learn from your mistakes. If you just sit there and continuously doing the same mistake, continuously failing the same way and not learning nothing from it, you're going to keep doing the same thing because you have somebody to pick up for you, because you have somebody to hold your hand, basically. You don't really have to learn nothing on your own. You don't have to experience nothing on your own. And I think that's the main vital point I'm trying to state right now is your parents should teach you accountability on your own, responsibility on your own. You should be able to hold yourself accountable, not just your parents, because your parents are not going to be there all the time. And I think many of the people now today, in today's era, young kids, they don't really have to take accountability for everything. You know, most of the time, parents are not trying to be mean or not trying to be, you know, too strict or not. They don't want their children to grow up in the same household as they did, abusive, neglected, you know, those kind of things. So they often always there to run to their child's side when something happens, when they get in a fight, when they get a cut, when they get a scrape, when they fall down. But with this teaches the child to depend on their parent. They don't know how to be independent. They don't know how to function on their own. They don't know how to, you know, go grocery shopping. They don't know how to change oil. They don't know how to, you know, just do things that adults should be able to do, pay bills. They don't know anything about responsibility because they have somebody holding their hand majority of their life. Now, how can you fix this? Ownership should be the start of the change. Take ownership in the damage we have done to ourselves, as well as accepting things for what they are and moving on and learning from them. The black community has been playing the victim card too long. You can start by replacing you with I, and also see yourself as a survivor. A victim argues with life, and a survivor embraces it. A victim dwells on the past, and a survivor lives in the present. A victim believes they are helpless, and a survivor takes back control over their life. Although the victim mentality is addictive, the survivor mentality is much more empowering in the end. And that's the whole point I was pointing out earlier, is when you fall down and you overcome that by yourself, you build confidence. You know that you can do it on your own. You don't need to depend on nobody. You become way more confident, way more structured, way more of a leader, and you can lead other people into becoming more independent on their own and having that survivor mentality, as I stated right now. You know, once you experience things and you overcome them, you feel like you can accomplish anything. You feel like even if the world is against you, you can still accomplish it. You can just do almost anything, and that builds your confidence. And that's what every child needs. That's what every person in this world needs. They need that survival mentality instead of that victim mentality. Because for the victim mentality, it's not going to take you so far. You may get past it for a while, and most of the time you may get, helped out because of your parents. But what about when your parents are gone? What about when your parents' connections are gone? Sometimes the people with the victim mentality, they don't know how to have conversation. They don't know how to make connections. They don't know how to network because they're relying on that victim mentality. Oh, I went through this, so this is why I act a certain way. Oh, I went through this, so I don't want to talk to people. Everybody's not going to have sympathy for that. So you're going to have to do your job, and you have to do it correctly regardless of what's happening to you. You can't say, oh, hey, I experienced a flat tire, so I couldn't come to work, when you got a project due and you got to present to a group of students. No, most of the time in the adult world, you're going to get fired, and that's going to be your consequence for not overcoming that obstacle. And that's that victim mentality. You can't just make excuses for your mistakes or for things that happen in life. You got to overcome it, and you got to find ways to overcome it. And once you overcome them, that builds tough skin. Once you have tough skin, you believe you can accomplish anything. And that's that survivor mentality and that victim mentality. And that's the difference between those two. And this is the works cited page. That's it.